Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Miami Dolphins and the Baltimore Ravens. Two teams here, each off to 1-0 starts as this one is underway on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Ready.
They'll run here with Raheem Mostert. Oh, he shifts past him. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. That's a start they can live with. 15 yards on their first play from scrimmage.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge.
Right, 97. Ready?
A first carry for the Fordham Ram, Chase Edmonds. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short. Now, this defense for the Ravens, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
A good position to be in here, second and inches.
Hey, check Megan.
They'll run right side with Mostert. And oh, he coughed it up. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49. So now our referee looking at the sideline saying, are you sure? But yes, this defense has accepted the penalty. So that means they will not take possession on the fumble recovery. Boy, not sure why in the world you do that, but that is apparently the decision. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. They'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
He's brought down at the 39-yard line. A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4.
Ready up.
Tua sets up to pass it. This one complete to Jalen Waddle. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Dolphin first down.
Black Ultra, red, yellow, hey,
here's Tua. That is caught by Waddle. Touchdown, Miami. Jalen Waddle, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins are on the board first on the road here in Baltimore. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete. Charles, already trailing by a touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points. To throw again on 2nd down. Jackson. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. All right, partner, I'm going to be Captain Obvious right here. Not the start you're looking for offensively, right? Incomplete pass, followed by a sack.
And when he went down, it looked like that right ankle got turned, but thankfully he popped up okay, and they breathed a sigh of relief on that sideline. After that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. They'll set up a throw. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And it'll be Dolphin football. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Mostert. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
On the ball.
On 2nd down, this is Edmonds. And some room to maneuver. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Dolphin 1st down.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
Play action. Now it's Tua. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now a run straight ahead with Edmonds. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. A Miami first down on the 14-yard pickup.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
It's Hill, complete. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
On 2nd down, Mostert. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play.
10 cycles. Yellow.
They fake the handoff. Now Tua. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
That could have been a huge play, but give the defender credit. Stayed calm, stayed collected, and kept himself in a position to make a play on the ball without a penalty.
Sanders' kick is good, and the Dolphins will add on to their lead. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Dobbins. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. The tackle made by Landon Roberts.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10.
Report.
They go play action now. Jackson steps away. And his throw here is going to be incomplete.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
The threat of a 2nd straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Now with the play clock about to expire, we get a whistle and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. An incomplete pass on 2nd down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things, get back to what works.
4th down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt. Now Hill to return it. That. Running into the kicker wouldn't be a first down. Roughing, it is a first.
And just think about the differences between the two. Running into the kicker almost feels inadvertent, just a small tap, so to speak. But when you rough him, usually bodies are hitting the ground and flying all different places. And the difference is 5 yards or 15. And in this case, that's a big play.
Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. The Ravens at 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1. And they were able to get that road victory in the opener. Now they look to get to 2-0 in front of the home crowd.
And look, any road win in the NFL, that's huge. But when you do it Week 1, that gets you pointed in the right direction and sends notice to the rest of the league that you mean business.
They go play action with Jackson. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
2 drives won't tell the story of this game, but you absolutely have to like how this defense has played thus far. They have yet to allow this offense to get untracked in this one.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Here's Hill on the return. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And that will come the offense as they take over.
At their own 34-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it. And he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. It'll go as a gain of 33, and that play started back at their own 33.
So often on these RPOs, we see the ball get from the quarterback to the receiver in what feels like a nanosecond, but on this play, he actually cleared coverage downfield a bit before the ball got to him. The net result, though, a considerable gain.
They'll run on 1st down. And, Edmonds has it knocked loose. And the Ravens have got it.
You remember in preseason when we were going to the different training camps and visiting teams, and we always would see the running backs working out and going through those gauntlet drills.
Yep.
And, guys either slapping at the ball or the machines. You got to learn to take care of it.
Yeah, they lost it there. Big fumble. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. The drive will commence with a run by J.K. Dobbins. He stiff arms him. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards. We often give credit to the O-line there. Two tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield and catch the football.
And they get 17 more on that one and another first down. Here's Jackson. And looking for Andrews, but this is intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. There he goes left side. And he will bring it back. It's a pick six and a Dolphins touchdown.
Coaches preach all the time about opportunities and taking advantage of them, and he did exactly that. I used to have the coach tell us all the time, a lost opportunity is never regained. Well, no regrets here. He picked that one off and took it to the house.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that makes our score 17-0. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Meanwhile, Jackson's throw into the hands of Andrews. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 2.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender. But the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
3rd and 2. Here's Jackson. And he fires one, but incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Fourth down, here's Jackson. And that's going to be caught. It's James Prochet. And he is going to have a Ravens first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. So not only do they convert on 4th, but they pick up 22 yards in the process. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Jackson. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6.
That's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. A shotgun snapper to give to Dobbins. And they'll get him down here at about the 42. 9 yards on the gain there, and it's going to bring up a tough 3rd and 7.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The Ravens on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Now it's Jackson. That's taken in by Duvernay. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins down to the 22-yard line.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
From the 22, Jackson. And, it's incomplete. Oh, that would have been 6 points, but somehow he couldn't rein it in. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Throwing is Jackson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Keon Crossen. And now off to the races down the right side. The 20. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. Make it back-to-back weeks now with a pick 6 for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick 6 in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. I'll tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Now they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership.
That's good for a Baltimore Ravens. 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. To throw is Jackson. Throw right side is complete to Andrews, his tight end. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. It's another 1st down as this time they get an even 20.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. J.K. Dobbins, his first rushing touchdown on the year. And the Ravens are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. No return here for Clay Brooks, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And not an abundance of time remains on the clock, Charles, but you would think more than enough to try to extend this lead before intermission.
And when you're talking about extending the lead, I think you're talking about aiming for the end zone because there is plenty of time for that. The fallback is to get 3. But in your mind, you put 6 on the board right before the half. That's a heck of a dagger and great momentum to carry into the locker room.
A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Oh, looking for Waddle, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. Ravens going to use their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on second down. Here's Jackson to throw. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, for the third time, Jackson going to be intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And the Dolphins are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. A nightmare of a first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go to the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
Here we go.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And with 8 seconds on the clock, really not a lot of time to try to put anything together. They'll roll him out right. And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver.
Barton, I think he's got to be careful as he continues to try to extend plays because he's already been intercepted in this game. And the coverage, they continue to challenge all of his receivers downfield.
Tua, the final shot before half. And going deep for Hill. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. So we've reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Dolphins taking a lead to the locker room as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. The Ravens set to receive the football, trailing here as we resume action in the third quarter. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Well, the first half, they struggled a little bit to keep pace offensively, CD, down 2 scores here. So how do they make some changes coming out of the locker room?
Well, they've studied what they did in the first half. They've seen what the defense is throwing at them. Now they want to have a plan of attack against it. So you come out, you're not going to get all the points back on one drive, but get started on it. Start chopping into that lead, and maybe it'll inspire your defense to help out as well.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now it's Jackson. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on 1st down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Jackson. He'll swing this out to Dobbins. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out, and the Dolphins get the football in great field position. They're coming out with a jumbo package to start the drive. Up the middle they go with Mostert. And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Tua sets up to pass it. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams. The 30, 10, 5, and he will bring this back. It's a pick-6 and a Raven touchdown. Boy, a big play right there. I mean, a touchdown on this drive could have really put some separation on the scoreboard. Instead, it's the defense who scores. And, partner, we got a game again.
And we do have one because of what you just described. A defense that understood what was going on in this game and did something about it. They knew their offense needed some help. They just provided it. They're back in this one.
After the interception, here's Jackson. And this is going to be caught, so they do get it. And the 2 points, now they're back down to a 1-score deficit. And that almost makes it a brand-new ballgame. Now it's a 1-score affair after they get the 2.
And you have to know they were holding their breath on the 2-point play because they had to have it to get it within the range that you just talked about. Dialed up their 2-point play. It worked. Now they're feeling like they've got a shot at this one.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They had that first half lead, but they have been shut down here in this 3rd quarter, so time to He's got the lane, and there he goes. Past the 20, and all the way in for a Miami touchdown. And we didn't even get a chance to settle in for that drive. A quick strike of 75 yards, and they find the end zone.
Don't you get the sense that film study was behind this one, that they saw something that they thought they could take advantage of? The key is calling it in the right situation, knowing when it exists to go to it. They did exactly that. They've got to feel really good about what they did in advance of this game.
Just looking down at the sideline now, their defense is like, man, can you have strung that out just a few plays? Give us a break. Back out there.
Hey, man, give that water break and get on out there and play.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. Taken in at the 3. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
The Ravens take over first and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
Charles, we know that this offense is aggressive. We saw that last drive. They went for it on 4th down, didn't get it. Then they give up the touchdown. So now you feel like they really need to respond here.
They certainly do, but let's face it. Sometimes when you take that risk, you understand if you fail, a little more onus goes back on your ball club to try and pick themselves back up.
And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33. On 2nd and 7, Jackson flushed out right. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Jackson now. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete.
Excellent job there defensively. Gave up the underneath to the tight end on 3rd down, and they made sure that they did their job. Got him on the ground and prevented him picking up a 1st down.
They're going on 4th down. It's Jackson. And it's going to be batted down. It will go the other way with a football. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And that will force a turnover on downs. But down 2 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to go for it. They must have thought they had a play to dial up that they could get it, and it didn't work out.
They must have thought, as you pointed out, they had a play, and they were probably looking at the number of possessions that they thought were left in the game. And down 2 scores, they must have felt like they couldn't risk not taking a shot here and giving up that chance.
Here's a good way to kick off a drive, complete over the middle. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A good pickup there, 21 yards. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. That swung out to Mostert. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. Short completion, just 4 yards, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. There's Fuller for a Dolphin touchdown. Will Fuller, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Dolphins take a 3-touchdown lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead opens up now to 22 points.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick.
Taken in at the 3. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
The Ravens take over first and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions. Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Jackson now on 2nd and 10. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And he's got his tight end. That's Andrews. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A really good pickup of 28 yards. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 48-yard line. Now Jackson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And the Dolphins are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Stopped in his tracks and given a loss on that play by Patrick Queen. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Throwing now is Tagovailoa.
He'll get this into the hands of Mostert.
And he is going to lose yardage here. 3rd down, now even tougher. 3rd and 13 after that loss of a yard.
Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
On 3rd and long, it's Tagovailoa. And incomplete on the deep ball.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
Here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. 35 yards that time on the punt. And the Ravens, they'll take over.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
Well, it's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't want to admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23.
They'll go again with Dobbins.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Here's Jackson. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Javon Holland. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his second interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ballgame, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go.
But that's not an easy play for a defensive end because most of his responsibility has him getting upfield and working. But how about his vision to see where the play was going? Crashed down inside and tackled him for a loss.
Meanwhile, Tua's throw taken in by Cook. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7.
First and goal at the 7-yard line.
Gets it to Hill. It's a jet sweep. And he is out of bounds here. That's a gain of 7, and we'll leave them with 2nd and goal coming up.
It's a bit of a dangerous part of the field for him to break into their bag of tricks, but for a minute there, I thought it was going to set up perfectly for him. Instead, they don't get into the end zone, but they do pick up positive yardage.
Good yardage on first down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal? And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. A touchdown run there from a yard out. And the Dolphins get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that'll push the lead up to 29 now. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. Taken in at the 3. Room to run at the 50. Still going inside the 30. And they are not going to catch him. He's in. Touchdown, Ravens. It's been a back-and-forth game. A lot of points on the board. And that return right there kind of indicative of how this thing's gone.
Yeah, you've seen both teams go at it. And as you just pointed out, both of them have found the end zone. But just like in boxing, you know the blow that hurts the most? The one you didn't see coming. And that often is the case when it comes in special teams.
No, we changed it. 13.
And they'll try to run it in with Dobbins. And he's going to be stopped here for no gain. And that's going to take us to the end of the third quarter play. So both offenses come to life here in this third quarter as this is shaping up for a good finish. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This fielded right at the goal line. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable fourth quarter lead. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 55 rushing yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far. Now, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this fourth quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
Well, they had a gain of 10 last time, now a gain of 20 here. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Now Tua.
And he'll get this into the hands of Hill, complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. On play action, here's Tua. And this ball incomplete. Looked very much to be a catchable ball and could not hang on. Second down coming up. Here's a quick throw out to Wilson. Nice little juke. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. The end result, 21 yards. Mostert fighting, but he won't get too far. Maybe a yard, that's all, down to the 2. Only a yard on the pickup there. Second and goal. Again, it's Mostert. And I don't think he got in. He did not. They mark him short of the goal line. They hold him again, and now all of a sudden it's third and goal at the 1.
Right, 97. Let's go, charge. Ready?
Edmonds will take this in for the Dolphin touchdown. So the second down run didn't work. They run it again on third down and get in. I wasn't sure if they might pass it, Charles. We know that they like to mix it up down here around the goal line.
Yeah, almost felt like the offensive line said, forget mixing it up. Let's call our favorite running play over our best blockers, and let's get this one in.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this?
And now here is another interception. Picked up by Javon Holland. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
And a solid run down inside the 30. 62 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4.
Cheetah. Ready?
They go back to the ground, this time Mostert. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Here's Tagovailoa to throw. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that will be incomplete. Oh, he left that one in a bad spot, but fortunately it's just an incompletion and not picked to bring up 4th down.
Sanders' kick is good, and the Dolphins will add on to their lead. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, it's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you.
Dobbins hit, and he fumbles. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the fourth. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help him improve.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them.
And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Raheem Mostert, a 13-yard touchdown run.